Hi, my name is Ashton and welcome back to Ashton's EDC. In today's video I'm going to be sharing part 1 in a multi-part series sharing my fountain pen collection. I have quite a few fountain pens and I really enjoy writing with fountain pens. I've got several from different brands, with each of them have different inks in them, and I will go into a bit more detail as to the kind of nib and the ink filling system and the details in regards to each pen, and I'll show you a bit of a writing sample to each as well. But to start off today, I'm going to be sharing in this first part the fountain pens that I have from the brand Lamy. I have two Lamy fountain pens. Both of them are a Lamy Safari. Don't worry, I'll go into a bit more detail into that in just a moment. Both of them are a Lamy Safari, but slightly different, different color, different nib, and different ink as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn the camera down towards the table, and I will show you each of these pens. I'll do a bit of a writing sample and just kind of go over some of the specs related to each of them. So stay tuned. I'll turn the camera down towards the table now and we'll take a look. So here we are, taking a look at two fountain pens from the brand Lamy. Starting off with the first one, this is a Lamy Safari, with the color here is called Terra Red. As you can see, Lamy makes really nice pens. Quality is really nice. It is just made of a plastic material. Has this nice big metal clip here. You can kind of see the Lamy logo sort of imprinted onto the side of the pen. You do kind of have this area here, which is meant to see how much ink you have left, as well as the cap. Has this kind of X or plus logo on top. Not too sure. I think that's just a design choice. Taking the cap off, we can now see the grip section as well as the nib. The nib, which is this section here, which is essentially where the ink comes out to write, is using an extra fine nib. Hopefully you can see that there. Extra fine EF from Lamy. This is a black metal nib there. As you can see, when writing, you can take the cap and put it on the back, which is called posting the cap. Makes it for a bit of a longer area to hold the pen. On the Lamy pens, they have this kind of triangular grip section, which is really just gives you a perfect area to grip into. Very natural to grab the pen in this way. Let's see, I'll give you a few specifications here. As far as the dimensions, let's take a look here. Comes in at about 5.5 inches long, and the diameter, give or take half an inch. In millimeters, it's 144 millimeters long, with the diameter coming in at 12 millimeters. This one, the ink that I'm using is a blue Lamy cartridge. This is the box that they come in. This is what it looks like here. What I will do is I will take the pen apart. So how you do that is you unscrew the grip section from the main barrel of the pen, which gives you access to the cartridge. And so when you're going to put in a new cartridge, you just insert it in. You'll kind of push it until you hear a slight pop. Then that means that it is good to go. So you can kind of see here, ink level looks like it's about there, give or take. So I still have a little writing left. And then you screw the barrel back on and the cap clicks on securely. I'll do a slight, just a bit of a writing test here. This is one of my favorite, or maybe my favorite notebooks to use when writing with fountain pens. So I'll just do a quick writing test. Show you a bit of how this pen writes, as well as the color of the ink. So let's see here. I will just write Lamy Safari. This one, this pen does have the extra fine nib, so it does have quite a bit of feedback, which essentially just means that it does have a bit of a more scratchy sound while writing. But it does write very nice, very smooth. Have that nice blue ink there. Hopefully you can kind of see that color. Doesn't come across on camera quite as nice as it is in person, but still a really nice pen and really nice ink combination. The Lamy Safari is a really great kind of starter or beginner pen, but even so, it is just a really great pen. Such good quality, super easy to write with, feels great in hand. Really, there's not much to complain about. This was one of my kind of earlier pens that I purchased when getting into fountain pens. But even still, now that my collection has grown quite a bit since then, it is still one that I do use quite often. Next up, I have another Lamy Safari, just in a different color. The color on this one is called Mint Glaze. Still has that same pocket clip here. This one is a silver color versus the black on this one here. But other than that, obviously the pens are identical. Same length, same diameter. Only difference is, of course, the color of the pen body. The nib. On this one, the nib is a fine nib. It has a silver metal nib compared to the black on the other one. Hopefully I can get that in focus here. I'm not sure if it will focus. It is kind of reflecting the light, but it has an F there for fine. And in this one I am using a different ink. So of course, when you're writing with the fountain pen, you can use an ink cartridge such as this, but you can also use what's called an ink converter. And by using an ink converter, you can fill it with bottled fountain pen ink. So the ink I'm using in this one is this. This is from a brand called Dominant Industry, which is a pretty popular brand in the fountain pen ink world. And the name of this ink is Fairy Forest. And so I'll show you what that color looks like in just a moment. But first, if I unscrew the barrel here, instead of seeing a cartridge, you see this. Now this is called a converter, and it is the it's called a Lamy Z28 piston converter is the model name, I guess you would say, but it does use a piston mechanism. So I'll try and show this on camera here. Right there is a small piston, and so if I were to turn this, you can hopefully see that there is a piston there that moves, twisting it that way and that way. So how this would work is if I'm needing to fill this with ink, I would take my ink bottle, obviously take the lid off, dip the pen into the ink, the nib into the ink up to about there. I would sort of twist the piston mechanism, pushing all of the air out of the pen, and then I would twist it in, which would suck the ink into this kind of reservoir within the converter. And then that allows you to write with different colors of ink. Really kind of my preferred way to use fountain pen ink, because you can just buy a bottle of ink and you can use that repeatedly. Is a little bit more kind of economical in the long term, but also allows you to kind of mix and match your inks. So once I'm finished with this one, then I can fill it with a different type of ink if I want. But I'll show you a brief writing sample. Hopefully I can get the color of the ink across. This one again is using a fine nib. Sometimes doesn't start right away, but there we go. I am shaking the table just a little bit there, so I do apologize about that. Less feedback, being a fine nib, it's not quite as scratchy, but it still writes extremely smooth. And so the color of this Fairy Forest ink is kind of a turquoisey color. Not sure if that comes across on camera here. See if I can kind of adjust the lighting a little bit to get that showing through. But a really nice color of ink. And I think it kind of matches well with the color of this pen. So I'll set this notebook aside. And yeah, I'll just kind of give you, show you the fountain pen. Has the nice clip here. Great for EDC in that sense, because this clips really easily onto your pockets. You can kind of see there how much ink you have left in the pen. Just really great and really solid pens from Lamy. If you're looking for a beginner fountain pen, or just any fountain pen that you just want that one that is easy to use and reliable, these are definitely a go-to. Really nice for EDC, and just really great pens. There's not much else to say about them. They are just really solid fountain pens, and I'm very happy to have them a part of my collection. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments down below. Do you have any of these fountain pens, or do you have a Lamy Safari? I would love to hear what color that you have if you do. You could get a Lamy Safari in probably hundreds of colors, maybe even 1,000 colors at this point. So I'd love to hear the ones you have in the comments down below. And if you don't have a Lamy Safari, I would love to hear what your favorite fountain pen is if you have one. If you have any other questions about these pens or about fountain pens in general, feel free to ask those in the comments down below. I didn't go into every kind of specification regarding fountain pens in this video. Just wanted to give you a general overview of these ones, but please ask any questions you might have, and I'll try my best to respond to each one. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And if you like the other videos I'm making, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers, so if you could share this video with others, that would be great. I'm trying to grow my channel and produce more videos and different types of content as well. Make sure you check the description box down below. I'm trying to include more links. I'll try and include links to these pens, or at least to a Lamy Safari, which you can check that out. The links typically go to Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate now, so feel free to check those out. I'm also trying to include links for other things. So obviously these, some other gear that I recommend, Swiss Army knives, that kind of thing. So make sure you check the description box below to see what I've got there. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.